Good evening, students. I hope you're able to hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
So we'll get started. Today is going to be the test one's paper discussion, right? So we'll get started as we have limited time. So I hope you guys would have got your marks and all those things.
Sir,
Please.
I didn't get my marks. I'm not sure how to check of it.
Is it straight?
Yes,
You didn't
sir.
get your marks for which part test 1 and 2?
All of them actually.
Okay, you get back to me after the class.
Okay,
You
sir.
have
Yeah.
student support number, right?
Yeah.
You get back to me on that number.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is the answer for the first one, guys? So strong nuclear force. Where do you observe the nuclear force in the nucleus, right? So it is considered to be what? The strongest of all the fundamental forces, which is about 100 times the electromagnetic force. Okay, so this is the thing. Next. So what is science, guys? So science is it subjective, dependent on feelings of scientists, objective or dependent on the emotions of scientists? What is it? What is the right answer? So science is objective, right? So the law of conservation of energy is valid in which of these mechanics? Is it applicable only for Newtonian mechanics, only for applied mechanics, only for relativistic mechanics, or across all the domains in nature? What is the right answer? So conservation of energy is applicable for all the domains. Okay. Fourth one, Newtonian mechanics could not explain something. It failed to explain something. What is it? It could explain the flight of rockets, fall of bodies on Earth, right? So there is something called as some of the basic features of atomic phenomena and the movement of planets. So which one did Newtonian mechanics explain precisely? It could explain the first one, second one, and the fourth one, but it failed to explain the atomic phenomena, right? Similarly, the fundamental forces in nature. So what do you mean by fundamental forces? Those are the basic forces, right? So if you have fundamental units, how will they be? How will they help us? Fundamental units will help us to derive the derived units. In a similar way, fundamental forces, what will they do? So fundamental forces are the ones in terms of which all other forces can be explained and derived. Okay. Next. Sixth one. What are the dimension of Planck's constant, guys? So when you think of Planck's constant, what is the equation that comes to your mind? You would have learned in your chemistry many times. Are you guys there or not? So my question is very simple. You would have heard about Planck's constant in your chemistry. Have you heard it or not?
Yes, sir.
You would have seen energy. So E is equal to h nu. E is the energy of the light wave. H is what? Planck's constant. Nu is the frequency. Right? So H is equal to what? E divided by nu. So E is measured in joule. Energy is work done. Nu is 1 divided by second. So it is going to be joule second. So joule second is similar to which other physical quantity here? Product of energy and time. What is it? Where else does it come? So what is power? Power stands for joule per second. Momentum is kilogram meter per second. If I have to convert it to joule, so what will I do? I need to do meter square per second square into meter per second. So it happens to be joule meter per second. What about energy? Energy is joule. So what is the only option left out? It is angular momentum. Right. Seventh one. The mass and volume of a body are 4.237 grams and 2.5 centimeter cube respectively. The density of the body in current significant figures is how much? See, even without solving, can you guys tell me what would be the answer? You look at the options, you need not even solve. Since the question has told about current significant figures, what will your answer be?
Option B, 1.7 gram.
Yes. Well, how did you find out it is 1.7?
Least significant figures.
That is the thing. So least significant figures here you are able to see is 2, 2.5. So 2.5 is 2, so the answer will be 1.7. Had there been other value with the same number of decimal values, then you could have used the solve the problem. Answer is 1.7. Right. So the dimensions of torque are
Option C, ML2.
ML2 T minus 2. That's right. Right. I hope everybody knows how to derive it, right? So torque is equal to force into R. R vector cross F vector, right? So F into R into sine theta. So F is measured in Newton and this is measured in meter. Newton is kilogram meter per second square into meter. So kilogram is M, meter square is L square, T minus 2. Ninth one, what is the answer? So there is a physical quantity P which is related to 4 observables A, B, C and D, where P is equal to A cube B square divided by root of C multiplied with D. The percentage errors of measurement in A, B, C, D are 1%, 3%, 4%, 2% relatively. What are the percentage errors in quantity P? So this is of which format, guys? Z is equal to, this in which format? Z is equal to A into B divided by root of C into D, something like this, right? So what will be the percentage error in Z? Delta Z by Z is relative error multiplied with 100. What will be the answer, guys? Delta A by A into 100 plus delta B by B into 100 plus or minus? Plus delta C by C into 100, correct? Plus delta D by D into 100. Am I right, guys? There is a mistake, right? The one which I wrote, what is it? See, for this equation AB root C by root C into D, there is some mistake that there is there.
Sir,
Then-
for
root C, it should be 1 by 2 of delta C by C.
Correct. That is what I was waiting for. So actually the question is a cube b square, correct? So
Yes,
here
sir.
it should be 3, here it should be 2. So what is the answer? 3 into 1, 3 into 1 plus 2 into 3, 6. So 3 into 1 plus 2 into 3 plus half into 4 plus 2. So 3 plus 6 plus 2, how much is it? 11, 11 plus 2, 13 is the answer. Right. Next. 10th question is Young's modulus of steel. See, this concept of Young's modulus, you learn it in the 10th chapter, don't worry about it. But here the question is related only to units. So Young's modulus of steel is 1.9 into 10 power 11 Newton per meter square. When expressed in series unit, it gets converted to dyne per centimeter square. So it will be equal to, we know this, right? 1 Newton is equal to 10 power 5 dyne and 1 meter square is 10 power 4 centimeter square. So what will be the answer in terms of dyne per centimeter square? So what should we do now? 1.9 into 10 power 11 into 10 power 5 divided by 10 power 4. So what will be the answer? 1.9.
1.9 into 10 power 12.
That's a simple one. So what is the answer for next one? When a planet Jupiter is at a distance of 824.7 million kilometers from Earth, its angular diameter is measured to be 35.72 radian of arc. Calculate the diameter of the Jupiter. So how do you do this? So Earth, its angular diameter is measured to be this much value. Right, if I take this as R, right? So theta is how much? So theta is given as, what is the value of theta that is given? 35.72
seconds.
Yes. So 72 minutes. So calculate the diameter of the Jupiter. So how do you do this? What is the formula? So 35.72 minutes, how do you convert it to radian in the first place? Any non-math students here? So how will you convert minutes to radians? I think you would have learned it in your trigonometry, but that is not there, right? The first term. Okay, I'll tell you. So converting minutes to radians, what you do is you multiply it with 4.87 into 10 power minus 6 radian. So minutes will get converted to radian. Okay. Once you get this value, you need to calculate the diameter. So theta is equal to, what is the definition of radian, guys? So what is the definition of radians? I asked basic question. What is the definition of radians? Arc length divided by so it is going to be d divided by capital D. So this is going to be the formula for diameter. So diameter will be equal to theta is how much stuff? 35.72 into 4.87 into 10 power minus 6 multiplied with this distance of 824.7 million is how much? 10 power 6 kilometer is 10 power 2. Sorry, 10 power 3 meter. Okay, you multiply everything. So they left it in kilometer itself. So you need not convert it. So multiply this, you will get the answer. Anybody who solved this problem?
Sir, it is option B, sir.
This answer.
Sir, option B, sir.
Yeah, B. Okay. 12th one. The specific resistivity rho of a circular wire of radius r and the resistance capital R and length L is given by rho is equal to pi r square capital R divided by L, where R is equal to, this is the absolute value, this is the error value, absolute value, error value, absolute value, error value. Okay, the percentage error in rho is how much? So how to solve this problem, guys?
Sir, just like that AB by root CD, we have to find
Correct.
the
So for pi, there is no error. 2 times delta small r divided by r plus delta capital R divided by r plus
delta L.
delta. That's it. So 2 into delta r by r is how much term? 0.02 divided by 0.24 plus delta r by r is 1 divided by 30 plus this is 0.01 divided by 4.8. You multiply everything and solve this, you will get the answer. What is the answer? Whole thing
7%.
7, 7, ಇದು 12th one, yeah. But answer is given as 20%. Are you sure it's 7%?
Sir, can you check it once?
It is given as 20 only. The answer is given as 20. Okay. You can check the calculation again. Okay. 13th. So the force F in terms of T and displacement x is given by the equation F is equal to A cos Bx plus C sin dt. The dimensional formula of D divided by B will be how much? So what is the logic, guys? Wherever trigonometry is involved, what should happen? So when trigonometry is involved, this Bx has a unit of radian, but in terms of dimension, it doesn't have any dimension, correct? So if Bx should be dimensionless, what should happen? Dimensional formula of B into dimensional formula of x should be equal to 1. So dimensional formula of x is equal to dimensional formula 1 divided by dimensional formula of B. So what will be the answer? So which will be L minus 1. Similarly, the dimensional formula of D will be T minus 1. So they ask D by B. So T minus 1 divided by L minus 1. So what is the answer? LT minus 1. Option B. I hope everybody understood this logic, right?
Sir, can you repeat this one?
Sure. Sida. One minute. Just a minute. My device is a little slow. Yeah. So listen up. I don't know why it is getting closed. So what is the question? Y is equal to A cos bx plus B sin dt. So this cos of this bx is there, right? If I take this as theta, this theta is measured in terms of what units? It takes a unit of radian. For radian, what is the dimensional formula? M0, L0, T0. It doesn't have any dimensional formula, correct?
Yes,
So
sir.
if bx should be a dimensionless quantity, then I say dimensions of b multiplied with dimensions of x is m0, l0, t0, which is almost equal to 1 only. Not almost, it is exactly equal to 1. Then the dimensional formula should be equal to the dimensional formula of x. Right? Here x represents what? They gave it is measured in, it is a unit of length. So it will be L inverse, L minus 1. Similarly, what will happen here? Dimensional formula of D into dimensional formula of T should be equal to 1. So dimensional formula is D is equal to 1 divided by this thing. So which will be T minus 1. So they ask what is the dimensional formula of D divided by the dimensional formula of B. So T minus 1 divided by L minus 1, which will be L T minus 1. Now I hope I'm clear.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yes. Some issue, guys. Just give me a minute. Guys, can you just log in after 2 minutes? Just have to restart the device. Yeah, use the
Okay,
same
sir.
link. Yeah, use the same link to join again. I'm ending this session. Or else just a minute. Just a minute. Don't leave. Don't leave. So I'll make. I'm making you the host. Once I'm back, right? Give me the access.
Okay, sir.
I got back the access. Yeah. So what was the question number we were discussing? 12th order. We were discussing 12th, no? 13th. Next one. The question is about the surface tension. So the surface tension of a liquid is 70 dyne per centimeter. In MKS unit, what will it be? So 70 into 1 dyne is 10 power minus 5 Newton. 1 centimeter is 10 power minus 2 meter. What will the answer be? 7 into 10 power?
-2.
-2.
Yes. 15th. The unit of length convenient on the atomic scale is known as angstrom and is denoted as A with a circle on top of it. So we know that 1 angstrom is 10 power minus 10 meter. The size of an hydrogen atom is 0.5 angstrom. What is the total atomic volume in meter cube of a mole of hydrogen gas? What will be the answer?
Sir, is it option A?
Option 15th order. Option is given as B. But how you approach, I'm more concerned about the approach. So when they say size of the hydrogen atom, what are they trying to tell us? See, actually, this involves a little bit of chemistry knowledge also. You would have learned this, right? R is equal to radius is equal to 0.53 into z square divided by n, something like this. Or n square by z, I think. Exactly, don't remember. Okay, something like this you would have learned. So the value of n and z are 1, it comes out to be 0.53 angstrom. So that is actually the radius of a hydrogen atom. Okay, so 0.5 angstrom is the radius means. What are they asking? They're asking what is the volume of, what is the total atomic volume in meter cube for a mole of hydrogen atoms. So one hydrogen atom has a radius of how much value? 0.5 angstrom, correct? So what will be the volume of one hydrogen atom? 4 by 3 pi r cube. So 4 by 3 into pi is 3.14 into r cube is 0.5 into 10 power minus 10, the whole cube. This is completely in terms of meter cube. This is the volume of one hydrogen atom. So for 1 mole, what am I supposed to do?
Into Avogadro.
Into Avogadro number. That is 6.023 into 10 power 23 atoms. When you do that, the option that is given here comes out to be B. So calculation part alone, I'm leaving it to you. Okay. I hope everybody is clear with the concept. I think it is 0.53 into n square divided by z. I think that is the right formula. Anyways, you can check it in your chemistry textbook for atomic structure. Okay. So there is a truck that covers 40 meter in 8.5 seconds while smoothly slowing down to a final speed of 2.8 meters per second. Find its original speed in meter per second. So what is the answer? How to solve this? So displacement is given 40 meter, time is given 8.5 seconds. Smoothly slowing down when there is no acceleration to a final speed of 2.8 meters per second. Right. So 2.8 meters per second means what will be right? 1 minute. They told smoothly slowing down, then the object has to decelerate. If it is decelerating only, there is a change in speed, right? So object's acceleration is needed. So find its original speed. How to solve this, guys? We know the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square because time is involved. Okay. So we'll do this. V is equal to, if I do V is equal to u plus at, I'll be able to find the initial speed in the first place. So V is how much, guys? 2.8 is equal to u plus acceleration is not known and the time is how much? Time is 8.5. Right. So there are two unknowns. So I need another equation. So what is the other equation we can think of? S is equal to ut plus half at square. From this, find out u. So u will be equal to 2.8 minus 8.5. Sorry, 8.5 into a. So s will be equal to 2.8 minus 8.5 times a into the time is 8.5 plus half into acceleration into, okay, actually we need the initial speed, right? So we can find a and substitute it. Guys, are you able to understand what I'm doing? So a is equal to 2.8 minus u divided by 8.5. So in the formula S is equal to ut plus half at square, u will become the unknown, t is known, take a and substitute it here. Okay, one unknown, one equation, you will be able to find the initial speed. Is the approach clear? Guys, any doubt?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Clear,
Sir,
right?
why can't we use
Why can't we use? Why can't we use what? V square minus U square is equal to A. sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you use that, you tell me what will be the issue then.
Time will not be known.
No, no. When you use V square minus U square is equal to 2AS, what will happen? You can actually use it. But the problem is, one thing is, you will have to deal with quadratic values, squares of all those values.
Okay, sir.
So that is the only issue. Even that has two unknowns. Right? U is unknown, A is unknown. Sharia?
Okay, sir. Got it.
Yeah. 17th. The change in position or displacement divided by the time interval delta t in which the displacement occurs is known as what? So they use the word displacement time. So displacement by time is what? Velocity. And delta x represents, I told you already, delta is used for average, d is used for instantaneous. So what will be the answer?
Average.
Average velocity. Next. 18th one. There is a stone thrown from the top of a building is given initial velocity 20 meters per second straight upward. Determine the maximum height it travels in meter. So what is the formula for vertical motion of an object? H is equal to U square by 2G. So U square is 400 divided by 2 into G can be taken as 9.8. If you approximate it to 10, then what will I get?
20.4.
Anyways, I'm not checking just a minute. I hope everybody knows that the solutions for this is uploaded in the study material tab, right? Yeah, 20.4 is the right answer. 19th. So there is a particle which moves along the x-axis. Its position is given by the equation x is equal to 2 plus 3t plus minus 40 square. With x in meter and t in second, determine its position in meter. At the instant it changes direction. So at the instant it changes its direction, what will happen? When can an object change its direction? See, suppose you are running there. I'm saying you come back. Okay. When will you be able to achieve it? What will happen at the instant you're trying to change your direction? When can you do that? I want the logic. Only when you come to an instantaneous rest here. Only if you completely come to a halt, you will be able to turn. So at the instant you are trying to change the direction, you have actually come to rest. So indirectly what they are trying to say is find the time at which the velocity becomes 0 and take the time and substitute it back in the value of x that will give you the displacement. How many of you solved this problem? So dx by dt evrada? 3 minus 8 here, this is equal to 0. So t will be equal to 3 divided by 8. So this is the time at which the velocity becomes 0. So if I take this back and substitute it here, I'll be able to get the displacement. Can you guys find out and tell me? So 2 plus 9 by 8 minus 4 into 9 by 64. This will go 16 times. This will go 8 divided by 16 plus 18 divided by 16 minus 9 divided by 16. So 8 plus 18 is 26, 26 minus 9 is 17, 17 divided by 16 is 1 point something. So answer should be 26 minus 9 is 7, correct, Dana? Did I make any mistake there? Oh, sorry, this should be 32. So 32 plus 8 is 18 is 50, 50 minus 9 is 41, 41 by 16. So 16 threes is 48, 16 twos is 32. So the answer should be somewhere between 2 point something. So there are two options. What will be the right option? 41 divided by 16. So what is exactly 2.5, guys? 16 into 2.5 is 40. 16 twos is 32 plus half of 16 is 8, 40. So answer should be 2.56. Correct?
Sir?
Tell me now.
Sir, it's changing direction. That's why we are equating with 0, sir. in the
See, that is what I'm trying to say. When will, see, for you have an object, okay, I'll take this example. If you have a ball in your hand, you throw it upwards, okay? So I can ask what is happening at the instant the ball is coming to rest. What is happening actually? Or I can put a question like this: when will the ball travel downwards?
Sir, when it's reached maximum height.
Maximum, at the maximum height, what is going to happen? It will come to instantaneous rest, correct? So that instantaneous rest in terms of mathematics means what? Velocity is zero, correct? So they have given the equation for displacement in terms of time. How you find the instantaneous velocity? By differentiating. So by differentiating displacement, you get velocity. If I equate that velocity to zero, I'll get the time at which that velocity is becoming zero. So that is the time at which the object changes its direction. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So 20th another, average speed is defined as the total path traveled divided by the total time interval during which. What's the answer? So average speed, it is a total path length traveled divided by the total time interval during which what will take place?
The motion has taken.
The motion has taken place. It has nothing to do with maximum motion or minimum motion, nothing of that sort. So that part is asked only to confuse. So a jet lands on an aircraft carrier at 63 meters per second. What is the displacement of the plane in meter while it's stopped in 2 seconds? What is the answer? So a jet lands on an aircraft carrier at 63 meters per second. What is the displacement of the plane in meter while it's stopped in 2 seconds? So what is the displacement of the plane in meter? While it stopped in 2 seconds. Okay. So initial velocity should have been 63 meters per second. So it stopped. So V is equal to 0 happened in 2 seconds. So during this process, the object would have decelerated. Correct? So what will be the value of deceleration? A is equal to V minus U divided by T. So it is minus 63 divided by 2. That is minus 31.5 meters per second square. So with this amount of deceleration, what would be the displacement the object would have experienced? S is equal to ut plus half at square. So U ever 63. T is 2 seconds minus half into 31.5 into 4. On solving this, you will get an answer, and the answer given. Did anyone solve this problem?
It will
Answer.
be 63 only, sir.
Answer is 63. Yeah, same thing, right? It will come 2 times. So 63 into 2 minus 63. Obviously 63. So there is a golf ball which is released from rest from the top of a very tall building. Calculate the position in meter per second. Sorry, in meter of the ball after 2 seconds. So S is equal to half at square. Half into the object is traveling under the influence of gravity. So 9.8 into 4. So 4.9 into 4, last number should be 6. Answer is 19.6. So I calculated 9 into 4, 36. So I looked for the option 19.6 is the answer. 23. So there is a ball that starts from rest and accelerates at 5 meters per second square while moving down an inclined plane 9 meter long. When it reaches the bottom, the ball rolls up another inclined plane where after moving a 15 meter, it comes to rest. What is the ball speed in meters per second? 8 meter along the second plane. So there is something like this. 9, this is 15, correct? 9 meter length when it has come, inclined plane 9 meter long. So the inclination this 9 meter long, and it travels in this direction, the speed of 15 meter. Right. A ball from rest and accelerates 5 meters per second square when it reaches the bottom and reaches up another plane where after moving 15 meters it comes to rest. What is the speed of the ball? Okay. So here the acceleration is 5 meters per second square. How to solve this problem? Anybody? So here they are saying the ball has come to rest. So for the second inclined plane, the ball would have attained the velocity. So the final velocity of the first journey would have become the initial velocity for the second journey. Correct? Logically, right? So first, the final velocity of the first journey becomes the initial velocity of the second journey. So what is the velocity that the ball attains here? For that, I will use the formula v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So v square, ball starts from rest. So u is 0 is equal to 2 into acceleration is 0.5, that is half, into the displacement is 9. So cancel it. V square is equal to 9. V will be equal to 3 meters per second. So here the velocity is 3 meters per second. Here it is 0. Again, I'll use the formula v square minus u square is equal to s. This time v is becoming 0 minus u square is 9 is equal to 2 into acceleration is a and the displacement is 15. This will go 3 times. This will go 5 times. So a is equal to minus 3 divided by 10, which is going to be minus 0.3 meter per second square. So once I know the acceleration, will I be able to calculate the speed of the object at this point when it has moved 8 meters? What should I do? I should again apply the formula v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So v square minus u square is this time 9 is equal to 2 into minus 0.3 into displacement is 8. So v square is equal to 9 minus 16 into 0.3 or 4.8. So 9 minus 4.8, last digit should be 2. No option.
Sir, acceleration is 0.5, sir. You took 5, I think.
Engada? Oh, I took 5. Where did I take 5?
In the diagram,
Oh, diagram I took 5, but after that I looked at the number 0.5 na half done. That is why I took half down. See, here I took half only.
okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
There I took half. So v is 3 meters per second. V square minus 2as. So a one did I make any mistake? 3 divided by 10, that is 0.3. So 2 into minus 0.3 into 8, that is 16 into 0.3. 16 into 0.3 is 48, one decimal to the left. So 9 minus 4.8. No option at all. 9 minus 4.8 should be 3 point something, no? So, oh, this is v square. Oh, this is v square, sorry. So v square is equal to 4.2. Then v will be approximately how much? Square root of 4.2. Square root of 4.2 is how much? 6 point something. Sorry, 2 point something. 2.0 something. So 2.05, that should be the answer. Right, 2.0. Yeah, 24th. So there is I hope everybody understood, right? Guys, next time this kind of a problem comes, you will be able to handle it.
Yes, sir.
Good. So there is a drag racer who starts her car from rest and accelerates at 10 meters per second square for the entire distance of 400 meters. What is the speed of the racer at the end of the run? So v square minus u square is equal to 2as. So v square is equal to 2as. So 2 into acceleration is 10 into distance is 400. 20 into 400. So this is v square. So v will be equal to 2 times root 5 into 20. So 40 into root 5. Root 5 is 2.25. So 40 into 2.25. 22. 89.4. 24th. Yeah, that is the right answer. 25th. So there are two parallel rail tracks run north to south. So train A moves north with a speed of 54 km per hour and the train B moves to south with a speed of 90 km per hour. What is the velocity of a monkey running on the roof of the train A against its motion with a velocity of 18 km per hour with respect to train A as observed by a man standing on the ground? Choose the positive direction of x-axis to be from south to north. Okay. So there's actually a textbook example problem. Anybody with the answer? I think it is 14 something. I don't remember. Let's see. So they told south to north, take it as positive. So there are two parallel rail tracks running north-south direction. Train A moves north with a speed of 54 km per hour. So absolute speed of train A. So they want it in meter per second. Here it is in kilometer per hour. So 54 km per hour is how many meter per second? 15. What should we do? Into 5 divided by 18. And train B moves south with a speed of 90 km per hour. So this is 90 means 25 meter per second. What is the velocity of a monkey? So the velocity of monkey, the absolute velocity of monkey is what? Which is running on the roof of train A against its motion. So monkey is running in this direction. And its velocity with respect to train A, velocity of the monkey with respect to train A is 5 meter per second. Okay, so the velocity of monkey with respect to ground is velocity of monkey with respect to train A minus velocity of A with respect to ground. So what is the velocity of monkey with respect to train A? 5 minus this thing, minus 15. So what will be the answer? Minus 10. That is the answer. So they asked, so this is 10 meters per second. I hope you guys understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Which of these not a fundamental force?
Spring force.
Spring force. Yes. The word science originates from the Latin verb scientia, meaning what?
So to know.
To know.
To know. That's right. The fundamental force, which is the strongest range, with the strongest ranges.
Weak nuclear force.
Yes. So weak nuclear force, again, it is going to be within the nucleus only. The number of significant digits in this.
4.
So what are they?
So 6032.
That's right. 30. You measure two quantities. A is equal to 1 plus or minus 0.2, 2 plus or minus 0.2. What should report correct value for? What should report
So
correct?
option C.
1 minute. You measure two quantities. This we should report correct value for as option. What? Option C. What is the reason for it? Actually, question is wrong. Why no? Question is incomplete. What should I do with these two quantities? I didn't check this. The question is incomplete. Okay. 1 nanometer is equal to how much?
10 to the power minus 7 millimeter.
Correct. So it is actually 10 power minus 9 meter. So 10 power minus 9 into 1 meter is how many millimeter?
10 by 2. It should be 10 by 3.
Should be 10 power 3 millimeter. Correct? 1000 millimeter. Then it should be 10 power minus 6. No? Answer should be 10 power minus 6 millimeter. If it is in meter, it should be 10 power minus 9 meter. If it is in terms of millimeter, it should be 10 power minus 6. Okay. So the least count of any measuring equipment is what? The smallest reading on the instrument, the smallest quantity that can be measured using that instrument, none of these, the smallest range in any instrument. Correct? Solunga paakalam.
Sir, option A.
Option B.
B is correct.
B, sir.
Smallest quantity that can be measured using that instrument. So which of the following systems of unit is not based on the unit of mass, length and time alone?
SI.
SI. Because what are all the other? So mass, length and time are the three fundamental quantities. There are four more included in SI. Light year is a unit of.
Distance.
That's right. So there is a book with many printing errors containing 4 different formulas for the displacement y of a particle undergoing a certain periodic motion. Which of the following is the correct formula?
Option A.
That's right. For the same logic, this part should be dimensionless. So significant digits in this is
532.
right. So a stone is thrown upward from a top of a 50-meter tall building and is given an initial velocity of 20 meters per second straight upward. Determine the velocity in meter per second when the stone returns to a height from which it was thrown. You need not even solve this problem. Did you understand the question?
Minus 20.
Minus
20
20.
is data, yes. So generally, if the object is traveling under the influence of gravity without air resistance, with whatever speed you project the object will reach back with the same velocity because energy is conserved. Okay, so kinetic energy will be the same. The answer is minus 20. 38. A ball starts from rest, accelerates at 0.5 meters per second square. Same question. It comes to rest. What is the acceleration in meter per second square along the second plane? We have already solved it. What is the answer? Minus 0.2 meter per second square. I hope you guys remember this. So this is also something similar. 39. What will be the answer?
30.
Yes. Next, the displacement of a particle is given by x is equal to t minus 2 the whole square, where x is in meters and t is in seconds. The distance covered by the particle in the first 4 seconds. Distance
8
covered by.
meters.
So distance covered by the particle in first 4 seconds means you should know what is the displacement of the particle at t is equal to 0. At t is equal to 0, x is equal to how much? 4. At t is equal to 4, x is equal to 2 square. That is also 4. Right? The displacement of the particle is given by x. Okay, the distance covered by the particle in the first 4 seconds. Distance covered by the particle. I need to know its speed. Right? If I know the speed only, I'll be able to calculate it. Okay. So what is the initial speed of the particle? Dx by dt is how much? 2 into t minus 2. So at t is equal to 0, initial speed is minus 4. This is at t is equal to 0. At t is equal to 4 seconds, what is the speed? It is plus 4. Right. So if I draw a graph, okay, if I draw velocity time graph, here the velocity is negative, here the velocity is positive. So it is moving. I am assuming that it is moving with the uniform acceleration. Okay, because they use the word distance. Okay, I'm thinking it is traveling with the uniform acceleration. Then,
Sir, actually the differentiation is wrong, sir.
and
It should come 2t plus 4.
where? It is t minus 2 the whole square.
Yes, sir. So minus 2 square will become plus 4.
T square plus 4 minus 2t. You did the like this. 2t minus 2 are into 1 up. Sorry, this is 4t, right? 2t minus 4 into 1 up. 2t minus 4, is it not the same as 2 into t minus 2?
Yes, sir.
That's it. Solda.
Sir, they are given like t minus 2 whole square, right, sir?
Yeah.
So we are 2t minus 1 we got, sir. So we should differentiate.
2 into t minus 2. Solda. Okay. What
Yeah.
is it?
So we need to multiply on the differentiation inside the bracket, sir. Like
Like,
differentiation
wait.
of t minus 2, right?
Okay, it's my mistake that, see, this is called as chain rule. Okay. I don't have time to teach now. As of now, I'll do one thing. In tomorrow's class, I'll explain how I did this. This is called as chain rule. See, for example, had the same question been x is equal to t square, what will you do? You will do dx by dt is equal to 2t. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So, if instead of t square, you have t minus 2 the whole square, where x is still a function of time. But instead of t, what did you have? You have t minus 2. So I will do 2 into t minus 2 into, I will differentiate this again. This is called as chain rule, which is actually not there for you. Learn it in your 12th standard. Like how Raga was, what I can say is you can go with that method itself. Expand it, then solve it. Both are same. Dx by dt is, see, x is equal to t square plus 4 minus 4t. Differentiated 2t minus 4. Okay. Let's get stuck to this. Now you put t is equal to 0 minus 4. Correct? T is equal to 4, you will get plus 4. So this is how the graph will be there. So the area under the velocity time graph will give you the displacement. Correct? So this point is 2. How did I get this 2? Because if I put velocity is equal to 0, I'll get 2 seconds. So calculate the area under that. That is going to give you what? The total distance traveled by the object. That's the answer. So what are answer, guys? So half into this triangle is, this height is 4, this is 2. So half into 2 into 4 plus, or I can take the bigger triangle itself. Why am I doing this? So this is 4 seconds, right? So this is 4, this is 8. So half into 8 into 4. 16 record option, that is the answer. Okay. I hope everyone is clear, right? Did everyone understand what I did?
Yes, sir.
Yes. 41. So there is a truck on a straight road which starts from rest accelerating at 2 meters per second square until it reaches a speed of 20 meters per second. Then the truck travels for 20 seconds at a constant speed until the brakes are applied, stopping the truck in a uniform manner in an additional 5 seconds. What is the average velocity in meter per second of the truck for the motion described? So when you want average velocity, you need the total displacement and you need to divide it with the total time. Right. Since it is not changing its direction, we can say the total displacement in this case is the same as total distance. So calculate the distance in all the 3 cases, add them and divide it with the total time it takes. That will give you the answer. Okay. So for 41, the answer is 15.7. So since time is less, I'll try to continue these things tomorrow. If needed, we will take an extra session also. Tell me one thing, guys. Is it a holiday for you guys tomorrow also?
Sir, but they are continuing with online classes.
So they are taking online. Huh? Till what time are they taking?
So till 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay. Can we have it 3:30 tomorrow? So we'll have 1.5 hour session.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, we'll have it at 3:30. And one more thing, guys. Don't leave. Wait. From today on, but what I will do is in the app itself, we'll be uploading certain daily practice tests. Okay, for the sake of your practice, what you can do is it will be a 30 minutes practice test which contains 15 questions each. Like these MCQs are there, right? Those questions will be uploaded there with the timer based thing. So in those 30 minutes, you should be able to answer 15 questions. Once you submit it, right, it will show you your marks along with the solutions for that. Okay, so I'll share a schedule for everything, and you can start working on that parallelly apart from the regular tests that you're writing. Okay, I'll be dropping a message. I'm just giving you a heads up of what I'm going to do. Is that clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, and I have a clarification.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, actually, I've sent a PDF for the OMR sheet for the maths
Ah.
test series.
Yeah.
So I haven't taken any printout of it. So can I just write it in a paper and upload it today?
Okay, for today alone, you can do that. If you give OMR, right, it is easy for us to correct. Because your results will come faster. Okay, but for
Tomorrow
today
I
you
will
can.
be able
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Yeah.
For tomorrow you can do it. For today, what I suggest is like you don't write the detailed solution. Okay, don't write the detailed solution. Just write the answers for it.
Okay,
That's
sir.
enough. Okay. Okay, guys.
Sir, could you once show the 41st question?
Which one? The 40?
Sir, yes, sir. Okay.
This truck one. Huh?
Sir, can you explain the area one?
Which one? This one. Huh? You're asking about this one.
Yes, sir.
What area doubt you have?
Sir, it's not visible, sir.
Okay, I'll draw it separate data. Did you understand the timing thing? X is equal to t minus 2 the whole square. Correct?
Yes, sir. If we
I'm drawing a
differentiate it, we'll
graph
get 2t
between.
minus 2.
Yeah. So t is equal to 0. What is the velocity of the object? Speed is 4, but velocity is minus 4.
So minus 4.
Correct? This is so minus 4 comma 0. Sorry. 0 comma minus 4. So what does it tell? T is equal to 0, velocity is minus 4. At t is equal to 4 seconds, t is equal to 4 seconds. What is the velocity? 0 comma 4. Correct? So though it is not mentioned, I am assuming that this object is traveling at a uniform acceleration. Means it should be a straight line graph. Okay, if nothing is mentioned, you can take it like that. Then this is the point where, so this is the instant at which the velocity becomes 0. You know, dx by dt is how much? 2 into t minus 2. If I put this is equal to 0, then what will be the value of t? 2 seconds. At 2 seconds, velocity becomes 0. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. So if we add this area, it would come 8, sir. How 6?
So this is 4, this is 8.
Yes, sir.
This is 8. And how much is this? How much is this?
Sir, area of one triangle is
Okay,
4,
if you
sir.
want to take the area of this triangle and area of this triangle, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what is the area of this triangle? Half into this height is 4, this distance is 2. Half into 4 into 2. Accepted?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it is coming only as 8.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. And this is 2 and this is 4. So half into 2 into 4. This and this. 8 option required.
Yes, sir. It is.
Oh, that is the answer. 8 is the right answer. Okay. So
Sir,
yeah, tell me.
or else we can differentiate 2t minus 4 with dt.
Okay, we get acceleration.
Oh, sir. We are differentiating the velocity, right?
You're saying you'll differentiate this with respect to time again, right?
Yes, sir.
That will give you acceleration. That will give you 2. Actually, either way, you can say acceleration is 2, means it's a constant value. That is why we drew a straight line. Correct. So acceleration is not a time dependent quantity. So it is a constant value. That is what I'm trying to say.
Sir, I didn't understand, sir.
Either.
Like
See, if you
how will we
differentiate
get
velocity, you
actually?
get acceleration. On differentiating velocity, mathematically derivative of 2t minus 4 is 2. Accepted?
Yes, sir.
So 2t minus 4 is 2 means, is it a constant value? 2 is a constant number or is it a time dependent quantity? It is not 2t square, something like that.
It is constant.
It is constant, correct? So whenever the acceleration is constant, the velocity time graph will always be a linear graph. That is what I'm trying to say. Because I told you a point, no, acceleration is not given. So I took it as linear graph. I'm trying to correct my statement, stating that you can find the acceleration. If the acceleration is a constant value, it is a straight line. So velocity time graph is straight line. That is what I meant.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Understood.
and what I meant was, here we
Uh-huh.
have first found dx by dt, so that is velocity.
Okay.
So dv integration dt will give the displacement, right? Distance,
You
right?
will you will get the displacement, but what is the point? You will
Sir,
get,
even
by doing that, you will only get instantaneous displacement. Whenever, see, இதுலேருந்து இது பண்றியா dx by dt. Okay, dx by dt is equal to, you are getting 2t minus 4, correct? So
yes, sir.
dx is equal to 2t minus 4 times dt, accepted? That is 2t times dt minus 4 times dt dx. You want to integrate it. So when you integrate, you will get 2 into t square by 2 minus 4t. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. T square minus 4t. Actually, this kind of an integration is called as indefinite integration, for which you should generally add a constant. So this t square minus 4t plus this constant is nothing but t minus 2 the whole square. I'll expand பண்ண என்ன வருது? T square plus 4 minus 4t, the constant you are trying to talk about is 4. Look, no, they both are similar.
Okay, sir.
So you differentiate and again integrate it back, you are actually getting back the question only.
Yes, sir.
Remember this point always, wherever there is a function involved, it is not an average value, it is always an instantaneous value.
Sir, so
Okay.
if velocity is given, we can't find distance using any calculus.
You can do it. You can do it. You can see, you can do it provided the time value is given to you.
Sir, here time is mentioned, right? At 2 seconds.
2 seconds, that is instantaneous. But what is the question? Read the question carefully. Covered by the particle in the first 4 seconds between 0. See, first 4 seconds, 0 to 4. Range, it is average. At அப்படின்ற word use பண்ணா, it is instantaneous. At 4 seconds, at 2 seconds, you are finding instantaneous value. But what is happening between those 2 points? புரியுது என்ன சொல்றேன்னா?
Yes, sir.
Right. So read the question. In first, what is the preposition they are trying to speak about? It is between average value. Okay.
sir.
Think about it.
Sir,
Tell me.
sir, in the same question, sir, I know formula, sir. Can we apply it also? Like, see, sir, displacement in first 4 seconds is equal to like initial velocity plus acceleration divided by 2n minus 1, where n is the time.
So you want to use the s is equal to 2t plus half h, correct?
Yes, sir.
So u is how much? Minus 4 into the time is 4 seconds. Half into acceleration is 2 into 4 seconds, that is 16. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. This is minus 16. Oh, you are getting a 0. Yeah, I understood why you are getting a 0, because this 0 is the total displacement. Try to understand. The 0 is the total displacement. But what is the question? Distance. Okay, so distance can never be 0. Displacement can be 0.
Okay.
Understood? So yeah, I'm sorry, you cannot use this formula because the question didn't ask about distance. It asked about, actually, you know what is the motion here? The motion is a to and fro motion, means you have thrown a ball upwards, the ball has gone to a certain height and it has come back in the same amount of time. So what will be the displacement? It is 0, because it has come back to the same point. That is why this is giving 0.
Sir,
Okay.
actually, sir, if you add the initial velocity plus half of the acceleration.
Sir, I guess he's telling the formula for distance covered by n seconds.
Yes, sir.
Different?
Distance covered in n seconds.
Distance provided in second.
N seconds, sir.
In 4 seconds, sir.
U plus half into
Yes, sir. U plus half a into 2n minus 1.
a by 2 into 2n minus 1. This is the formula. This is the formula for nth second. But the question is not what is the displacement of the object in 4th second. Displacement of the object in first 4 seconds between 0 to 4.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Sir,
So
if it's coming like at 4 seconds, then we can use this, sir.
yeah, then you can use this.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we can wind up this.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.